Oh, that's coming out the wrong speaker. I gotta fix that. There we go. How's it going, champions? How's it going? Solver enthusiasts, Solver adjacents, Roottreemaniacs. Alright. We didn't do great last stream, but we are gonna make some progress this stream. Am I live? Wait, did I press the live button? I did, didn't I? Is anyone there? How's it going, champions? Alright. Alright, yes, just cleaning. Okay, good to see you. Like, did I press the button? Did I press the button? I'll see you there, Worm. See you in the shower. Okay. So we got 2 bits here, which still have 8 bits of evidence associated with it. So we're going to start with these. This was the issue of Pompadour magazine, which contained an article about Cicely Sanchez. So we've unlocked Pompadour magazine on the back of this one, which is a periodical, which is about popular culture. So maybe these hints, we need to be looking for things in popular culture. Unfortunately, the Cicely Sanchez. Have we done much searching on Cicely? Maybe we need to search more on Cicely. Hey, Jacqueline, how's it going, champion? We definitely have. We've looked up Cicely's books as well. Including a book on Van Gogh. I don't know if we've looked up Van Gogh. He was the man. Before Van Gogh, Van's just sat there. Van's just sat there. What is money laundering? It's when you get a washing machine and you put your pants in there, but you forget you had your wallet in your pants and your money's been laundered. Nothing relevant about Van Gogh. Recently, Cicely appeared in a magazine called Piketty. Yes. Writing for Guy Hudson. Maybe we need to do some more searching about Guy. Hey, mister, how's it going? Good to see ya. Yeah, we really want to find this magazine. Like the version without the pages removed, but I don't know how to go about that. The cease and desist from Roottree's lawyers. Unless you want to read about a potentially demonic fish toy. I mean, I do, but it won't let us have... We've tried to search for the demonic fish toy, and it won't even tell us. It won't tell us. June 1999. How do we find out more about you, Cicely? Cicely Sanchez. Maybe if we search Cicely Sanchez in the different periodicals. Yeah. I don't think Cicely is going to be in any of these. Except for Piketty. Oh! A brief lawsuit between Ruby Spratt and Piketty magazine in news time. Okay. I'm going to read this, but I'm just going to search Cicely in the rest of these just to make sure. So I don't have to come back to that. Okay. I'm not sure we've looked this up before. Ruby Spratt and Cicely Sanchez. They said that Cicely didn't have the rights to redistribute the photos in the magazine of Guy Hudson. Piketty apparently announced that they would be pulling their issue following the day from Ruby Legal Enterprises threatened them. Yeah, Ruby. This is a thread. This caused the issue to sell faster than any other magazine. Any other in the magazine's history. Only for a day though. Even though that would have never noted purchase. We would purchase one just in case it would be worth something someday. It especially caught the eye of conspiracy theorists who assumed that anything worth suing over would be hiding something. That's probably true. An expert legal analyst from Newstime states that it was unlikely Ruby could have had the story pulled if it had gone to court, and Piketty likely got more eyes on it than it would have if Roottrees just ignored the story. That is the Streisand effect. famed by Barbra Streisand, who tried to pull a photo of a mansion and then it spread because it was so interesting. Alright, Ruby. Ruby. We gotta find your rubes. Okay. Clark Rafferty, Ruby Spratt, and her company Ruby Legal Enterprises. I can't read today. Were featured in Business Watch after the company took over as the keepers of the Clansed Trust. The Clansed Trust being the rules that the 5 pieces follow that say, hey, all of our money needs to be shared among the blood relatives. It seems that Ruby actually approached the Root Tree sometime in late March, after the Root Tree rift, but well before Roottreemania. An accomplished but relatively low-profile lawyer, she offered to work for very little money, so long as she could be the public face to build her reputation. The family quickly jumped on this chance, as many family members often attempt to spend as little as possible to keep their shares of the Clansed Trust as high as possible. After looking over the Clansed Trust more carefully than anyone had in years, Ruby came to the conclusion that Clancy Edwards' Root Tree implementation was not legally sound. So Clancy's the one that initially did the Clansed Trust. He's right there. Handsome looking fella. And that there would be constant legal challenges without some modifications. The family decided to put her in charge of the trust both legally and in a public face to prevent further issues. Ruby Legal Enterprises has been described as a mix between a law firm and a PR firm. I think we've actually read this before, but I reckon there's more juice to be squeezed from this stone. Her first move was to help them draft a public statement accepting Sam and the family and declaring that they'd begin to address the Clansed Trust. This went quite well, and they officially hired her in early April. Ruby Legal is now in charge of many financial aspects of the company, including verifying any claims and organising the various charitable causes such as scholarships that have been set up in the name of the deceased. Alright. Rubes, are you appearing anywhere else? We also need to search up the law firm a bit more. Yeah, you're just there. News Time, we read that. Piketty, she doesn't appear in. Portland Telegraph, okay. She was featured in a Portland Telegraph when she was in high school in an article called Local Teen Making Change for Foster Care System. This is new. According to the article, Ruby Spratt grew up in foster care system, was apparently the valedictorian of her school, and was a Girl Scout who, at the time of the article, was earning her Gold Award. What is that? This required a project to help the community, and Ruby chose to raise money to build a fountain she called the Foster Fountain. I don't know how a fountain's going to be interesting at all, but maybe. The fountain has a few small pedestals that stick up high above the water. People are expected to toss coins in the fountain for good luck, and will be encouraged to aim for the top of the pedestals. All the coins scraped from the bottom are slated to be donated to Portland's foster care system. A coalition of local businesses that sponsor that fountain have committed to matching any of the donations that successfully land on the targets. Alright. Okay, she's not going to be any of these other ones. Was it Ruby Spratt? I should probably be looking up the this fountain. This fountain may be a well of information. She was the subject of one article from a recurring series about modern-day success stories. Have I ever played chess? Not well. I've got a mug, actually. I've got a friend who plays chess a bit. And we played about a dozen games, and he used to destroy me because I don't play chess well. And then I fluked a win. So I got a mug made of that game, and me sort of going, yeah, and him going, no. And I've never played him in chess ever again. Ruby grew up in foster care, but earned a scholarship to study at Mid-Eastern University. There she graduated at the top of her legal class and was quickly hired as a lawyer of a prominent firm. There are a few high-profile corporate-involved cases she was a part of. One was as a legal consultant for a class action lawsuit against the manufacturer of steering wheel covers. Big steering wheel covers, they'll get you. Another was to help a local gas station chain in her hometown of Portland. That's probably indicating that we should search the Portland newspaper, which we already have, with the rollout of a promotion that allowed gas station customers the ability to bet on the price of gas. The blurb ends by calling her new firm a double threat. Her company serves a cross between a traditional lawyer firm and a PR manager. Hey, Ratfinks, good to see ya. Good to see ya. We're investigating Miss Spratt and the Foster Fountain. The Fountain of Youths, also known as the Foster Fountain, is a fountain found in a small park in Portland. All proceeds go to the foster care system. A website for Portland's Parks and Recreation mentions on a trivia section of the Fountain of Youths was originally conceived by Ruby Spratt, an alumni of the foster care system. As more businesses signed on as sponsors, it grew in scope even beyond Spratt's original hopes. The fountain is unique because it has special targets that visitors aim their coin towards. Excuse me. If a coin lands on one of these targets, each of the sponsor businesses matches it. I think we need to figure out who these sponsor businesses are. This isn't a huge amount of money for each business, but more than 100 businesses have agreed to participate, so each penny becomes $1. Okay, I think maybe we look up the Foster Fountain in the Portland Telegraph. No, we've already read this. Is it? I don't think we're going to find anything about this dang fountain anywhere else. Are we? Alright, we've still got... maybe we need to do more research on the law firm. Portland's Parks and Recreation. I don't think it's going to be interesting at all. No. Okay. Law firm. Ruby Legal. Ruby Legal. Named after its head lawyer, Ruby Spratt. All the articles tell the same tale. After the fiasco of the Six Pieces, they hired outside counsel, and it also looks after Root as well. And it's mentioning the high-profile lawsuit they raised against Cicely Sanchez. Nothing in Portland for that. Yeah, it's the same article. Chef's signature. Always talking about Ruby Legal Enterprises. Yeah, same article when we look up Ruby herself. Piketty does not talk about the lawsuit it was involved in, unfortunately. Dang, this we're in another cul-de-sac and I don't know how to get out of it. Where do we go with you, Ruby? Ruby. Maybe we need to go back to looking about Root and Six Pieces. So the book shot to the top of the charts. Yeah, I think we've looked that up already. What about Root? Is there anything new about Root? Brenda White, second in command. Scholarship page. Ruby Legal. Maybe we need to look up Clanted Trust again. What about the Roottree Sisters Fashion Scholarship? Maybe there's something new about that. It's giving us the same page. What about if we looked that up in Butler? Nothing. Teen Blast? No. News Time? No. Huh. Alright, Clanted Trust. Is there anything we can get from here? Haven't made any progress, gosh darn it. I don't think there's anything useful here either. His own twin brother. What about Clark? I don't think we've looked much about Clark, who took over the company. He's involved with the law firm, isn't he? Ruby Legal. What about you, Clark? New president. Not of Root, though. It was announced that both Clark Rafferty LaRue and Ron Roottree will be taking over for the aftermath. 2 weeks later, the company got rid of Ron. Yeah, we knew that. Clark tried to remain out of the spotlight, but did have one notable foray in the public eye. He gained a lot of support when his first move was a statement in favor of accepting Sam into the family, into the trust. There was also an announcement that the Clanted Trust would no longer be handled by anyone in the family since their financial motivation. Hence why it's now handled by that dang law firm. What about you, Ron? What's your story? Why are you hated? It's announced as the president of Roottree during the Roottree Rift, but the next press release immediately reversed the announcement and instead stated that Ron and Clark would take over. Then Ron was dropped entirely. Some veer into heavy speculation that is based on an article about Ron in Business Watch. Alright, that's something to look up. 3 weeks ago, Ron's mother died in Paris. He and his brother Robbie have seemingly made amends. Yeah, in the first game, they were not happy with each other. He wants to make a movie about it. Alright. Ron, Business Watch. Business Watch ran an article about 2 months after the Roottree Rift about what happened with Roottree. The article mentions that nobody from Roottree that they had reached out to was willing to go on record. Instead, the timeline of events have been constructed from public record accidental leaks and a source on the inside. The only parts that are new to you are also the most vague parts, the ones supposedly confirmed by the anonymous source. Timeline says that the family actually held a preliminary vote after Carl Roottree died, but before the release of 6 pieces, and decided that they wanted Ron to take over because of experience running RR Productions, and that he was well known and respected Roottree. But Ron seemed way too eager and personally motivated, and they were worried he's going to gut the Clanted Trust to remove Robbie, who he's now made up with. That's right. In the first game, there was a lawsuit between Ron and Robbie. The family was notoriously unwilling to do anything that could risk their wealth. They stalled and Ron became frustrated with the delay. When 6 pieces came out, he saw his chance to force action while the family was in the limelight and released a press release himself to try and get the ball rolling faster. This caused chaos within the family. They tried to save face by allowing Ron to be co-president, but Ron was impossible to deal with. He was unwilling to protect the Clanted Trust, and they eventually let him go. No one seemed excited about Clark, but he was the safest choice. We're not getting anywhere! how do we get somewhere? How do we get somewhere? How can there be 8 bits of evidence? Here, I have milked this. Hello, case. There is definitely something big we are missing, Rat thinks. This magazine is useless. Maybe we need to look more about Guy Hudson. I remember we definitely looked up Guy Hudson in the last stream and didn't really get anywhere. This is an old page. Old page again. You'd think, considering Guy's the main face of this game, they'd have updated information about him. But no. No, 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 no. Yeah, Guy, you debaucherous. I wonder if the police are involved somehow. Butler County Times. Right, no, we looked this up last time. Police Matters isn't going to get us anywhere except about this gosh darn cover band. Got these two cooks here and their mother Christine. We don't have a picture of their mother, who Guy had an affair with. Maybe there's something else in Piketty magazine we can look up. But I don't think they're going to have another article mentioning anything of this, except the one that was pulled from shelves. How? I'm wondering if there's something we can look up on the internet to find some sort of conspiracy theorist website. Wasn't there a conspiracy theorist in the first game? Because we have 2 different places that is mentioning conspiracy theorists. But how do we... Wasn't Chris Rafferty a bit of a conspiracy theorist? He's the one with the email address. Christopher? What was your email address, champion? How do we find you? He was the one that we had a bunch of articles about him dealing with conspiracy theorists. I get back to you, matey? There was a conspiracy website. I don't know how to get back to that, though. We haven't seen that in this game. We only saw it in the sort of part 1. So, in part 1, we probably had a bit of evidence that had something to do with it. Reveals root tree secrets. What if we just looked up root tree secrets? Nothing. Dang. We need a conspiracy monthly magazine. But we don't have one. A Piketty is a category of flower with an outline around the edges of its petals. Thanks. Thanks, Spider Search. That's really helpful. Sensationalist headlines, Beanie Babies, Magic Eye images, Red Bull. All the hearsay that's fit to print. Sounds like a fantastic magazine. Big C, Big Bass. Big Sass Sea Bass issue. I don't think we've searched for the specific issue name. And again, conspiracy theorists. You find a recently finished online auction that listed a copy at over $1,000. I don't think we've searched the specific name, which I did not know. That might be something. Big Sass Sea Bass is a talking fish that sits on a fake mountain wall. Blah, 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 blah. It doesn't sing, who cares? A sardonic and sarcastic wit will have you reeling with laughter. It's oceans of fun for the whole family. You'll be hooked on this big sassy bass. Recently appeared on Piketty magazine. Issues removed. Yes, I know, conspiracy theories. Collector's items. I know, matey. I know. I know. Come on, you gotta give me something. Hey, Rhonda, good to see ya. Driving home from choir rehearsal. I hope you had a good rehearsal. Sung some good hymns. It's the same article. Thought we finally had something. Very good rehearsal. Excellent, excellent, excellent. Oh, we need to get into conspiracy theories, chat. It's the only way. Big sassy bass. Big sassy bass. I wonder if we can find it in the public library. Would that contain copies of magazines? I wouldn't know who to put the article. What if we put Sissy Sanchez as the author? Dang. Reeling Oceans and Hooked in Piketty. We can try. Nah, good thinking though. Hey Pat, how's it going? Cooking veggie soup, that sounds pretty good to me. Ah, sounds delicious and healthy. Advertisements say. Oh, it's all worth a try. We're not doing much better than straws at the moment. Thomas Overwood's conspiracy page? During your initial search, you came across Thomas Overwood's conspiracy page about the root trees. 8 months later, the page still exists and is thriving. The visitor count has reached 7 digits. Many older articles have been replaced. It seems that the recent uprising of root tree news has left Thomas Overwood in a constant stream of events to base new theories on. We got a game version of eBay? Unfortunately not. More than one of his theories involve root tree deaths being faked. According to Overwood, statistically, when you have this many high-profile people who have died in a family, the odds that one of them faked their death, it's just maths. Why would you fake your death? It means you don't get paid anymore. The newfound focus on death faking seems to coincide with a post mentioning that he's begun to believe that Guy's not dead theory. Okay, that's something. I think we're opening a can here. My eyes have been opened. All of this beginning to make too much sense. One of the posts details the belief that Ron Rootree is still in charge. Gwyn Rootree's death was faked and that Clark is only there to throw people off. Apparently this allowed Ron to travel to France to develop their new candy recipe in secret. Another is about 5Ps. He can't possibly be a Rootree. One of his first album songs when he was performing under the devil name actually mentioned that he wanted to have sex with Raina. Oh, Raina was one of the Root girls, wasn't she? We really like this game? Yeah, it's interesting. It's sort of getting a little bit... It's getting a little bit finicky. A little bit finicky. Sam Madsen is an anagram for Am Madness. They're purposely leaving hints for us. Gee whiz. He claims that using a 6-piece with Lawrence Roottree's book as a one-time pad, he has begun to decrypt a cipher. Most of the ciphers seem to be meaningless, but he managed to pick out the words people and vastness, and is working on figuring out what that means. There is also a request at the bottom. Next year is a leap year, and Overwood is looking for funds and volunteers to catch the root trees red-handed in Operation RT29. He specifically mentions not to volunteer if you ever drunk spirit cola? Okay. Seems to have nothing to do with the root trees. Alright. So maybe we need to look up all of these things. Root Operation RT29. Oh, this is an old article. Candy recipe to have more chemicals. Poisoning our kids. Yep, that sounds like the root trees. Emulsifier. Okay. Guy's not dead. Oh, thank God, it's something new. The Guy's Not Dead conspiracy stems from a website that focuses on clues that root trees have, supposedly, hid all over the place. This includes candy wrappers, print advertisements, and television commercials, and their jingles. The story, according to the website, is that Guy Hudson was a terrible president of the Root Tree Company and introduced multiple failed products. Something needed to be done that would put the company immediately and instantly back in the favor of consumers. I think Guy was known as a terrible president. So they killed off Guy and replaced him with a new president. This move immediately garnered sympathy, and the company recovered the next year more popular than ever. The next president stayed much further out of the limelight, and some people even theorized that he was simply Guy Hudson in an elaborate disguise. Jesus Christ. Which is why he stopped appearing in public. The people who run the site asked for help. They're certain that there's a clue to all this accidentally leaked in a banned article from the magazine Piketty. On their page is a scan of the magazine's cover and the interview with Cicely Sanchez about Guy Hudson and some photos, and we get all of those in our evidence. Thank you very much. Right, so this is the real article. We finally got the article. We finally found the conspiracy website. The weird thing is, to find this, all I searched was conspiracy theory. Then we got it. How bizarre. How bizarre. This is an interview with Cicely Sanchez, an author who was hired to write a book about Guy Hudson. You claim to be paid a significant amount to write a book about one of the Roottrees, Guy Hudson. He was president for the short period at the end of 1970s, right? Yeah, I met him on New Year's Eve, actually. The last night of 1978. Guy liked to throw big parties. I think that's true. Guy, when we were looking at the finances year by year, Guy was a big spender. Where was that? $1978. Yeah, look at him. He went crazy. The New Year's ball, $7,500 on that. I was just coming off of Changed Man and looking for my next project. Alright. I think that sounds like it's a book written by Cicely, so we gotta look that up. What? Really? What is Changed Man? Cicely, what is Changed Man? How is this not... What is Changed Man? There's nothing about Changed Man. How can you be throwing me Changed Man and it not being anywhere? Oh, did I put Sissy instead of Sicily? Well, that ought to be a bit of a problem, eh? Not Sissy, Sicily. Still nothing. That's bizarre. That's weird. When his wife learned who I was, she invited me to the party and they cornered me to talk about a book. That was the first time anyone recognized me from my work. I had finally made it. I got recognized like a couple of months ago for the first time by a stranger. I've been recognized before, but never by a stranger. And I had a restaurant. And the waiter was like, "Are you the guy that explains crime to children?" And I'm like, "Yeah, that's me. I teach kids crime. Yeah, that's me. That's my claim to fame." Anyway, chat. The book they asked me to write sounded great, but then none of the stuff that made him interesting was allowed to stay. Chop, chop, snip, snip. Anything with even the slightest threat to Guy's image ended up gonzo. Amazing. Indeed. Indeed. Funnily enough, it was like when the channel was dead. I mean, it's still dead, obviously. I haven't posted a video all year, but like it wasn't while the channel was hot. What was the stuff that made him interesting? I do have a backlog of about half a dozen videos done. They'll be posted at some point. Guy was not that complicated. In fact, I think I could boil him down to two traits. First, he wanted to be seen as the second coming of the great Elias. And second, he never wanted He'd never be satisfied living the life he needed to be seen that way. He had his fortune and good looks. Really? Good looks, eh? I guess he was a bit of a looker when he was younger. Parents are watching you too. Your parents are watching me? No. Oh, my camera's gone dead. Oh, I forgot to turn the fan on. 1 second, chat. I'll be back in just a second. We'll get rid of this big black box. 1 second. Oh, that's Guy. Sorry. Yeah, Guy's not Clark. Guy. Wrong president. Yeah, look at him. He's a handsome fella. He'd never be satisfied living the life needed to be seen that way. He had his fortune and good looks, but he really liked to exploit that to pick up women. But he couldn't let anyone else know, so it cost him a lot to cover it up. That was the only interesting aspect of Guy. He was James Bond trying to convince people he was Mr. Rogers, I guess. Mr. Rogers, really? I said someone recognized me, so parents must be watching me too. Oh, the other channel where I explain things for kids, it's not actually explaining things for kids. It's satire. I'm not actually teaching kids crime, Pat. I'm just explaining things like money laundering in a easy to digest manner. So that waiter, I don't know, he's probably early 20s or something. Maybe that's not the best metaphor, but Elias Roottree was boring as all hell and all about family. Guy did everything he could to be seen that way. After I submitted the first draft of me, he sent me this garbage book, The Roottree Legacy, with Elias on the cover. Family Man, The Roottree Legacy by Bess Williams was a poorly received book about Elias Roottree. There are a few copies of the original published in 1920, but was recently republished by the same publishing company that printed Lauren's Diary for schools. They wanted to capitalize on Roottreemania. It didn't work. I don't think this is anything, but I'm going to look it up very quickly just in case there's something new there. Oh, hello. The reprinting of the old book. It's blatant corporate propaganda. That's what we need. Corporate propaganda. That's where we'll find the information, the truth. The last time he and I met, he had even switched out his orange suits for some green ones Elias wore. So in his picture, he's wearing the orange. And remember Fancy Flavors? I think we got a new picture of him actually where he's wearing the... Oh no, orange. Guy knew that part of Elias's legacy was 5-piece flavors, so that's what Guy tried to do. Caviar was a disaster here, but it actually somewhat popular in Brazil for some reason. You always hear that. The weirdest things. It's like massive in Brazil. In Christmas 79, he went to Brazil to open Roottreee Brazil Factory. Guy was always hopping around the world trying to recreate its success. Ah, John. Roottreee Brazil, sometimes erroneously referred to as Roottreee Brazil with a Z, is one of the companies created to manufacture and distribute Roottreee candy. It was developed as part of the Roottreee Everywhere initiative. Oh man, we are finding different threads to pull on, aren't we? Unlike some of the other Roottreee Everywhere results, Roottreee Brazil seemed to be a success. You do a rough translation and find a significant amount of information about it. Brazil was the only region in which caviar was a hit. The primary reason the factory still exists to this day solely to create that flavor. Wow, they're still doing it. which comes in its own standalone 5 pieces bag with Portuguese writing. A small town named Alvalagos, near the municipality of São Bernardo do Campo, became the location chosen by the Roottreemania Candy Company after a newly elected politician named Edson Soares. What am I meant to Google, mate? There's so many things here. Heard that they were planning a new factory and petitioned them as early as 1979. São Bernardo de Campo is a real place in Brazil. A game designer by the name of Jerry Johnson, I think that's who made this game, looked up cities in Brazil that had a lot of manufacturing so that he could place a fictional factory there. He didn't want to offend any Brazilians with the tale's writing that involved corruption and politics, so the town name he made up, Alvalagos, where the factory is located, was mixed by 2 other regions. Okay. Thank you, Ratwings. What about Edson? Are we gonna find? Oh, mate, Edson, you got a big article about you, mate. We gotta find some corruption in Brazil. We have to. He was a Brazilian politician. You find a dissertation published by the college student as part of their PhD history. It focuses about the rise of democracy in Brazil. Why is the rise of democracy in Brazil some sort of thread we need to pull on? Up until 1988, Brazil was run by the military, and the politics during this time were often a hotbed for corruption and nepotism. The paper tells of a few politicians of the time, including Edson Soares. No thanks, John. Edson is a former mayor of Alvalagos, Brazil, the fake town. Before politics, he was a manager at an automotive manufacturing plant for a major American car company. He was put in charge of the town by the military. American business. He became rich. The locals were forcibly relocated. He wasn't popular. His wife Sonia was put in charge of a television station called Teleread. These are just the worst cul-de-sacs we're going down. Sonia Soares? A news anchor in Brazil named Flavio Soares, who has a mother named Sonia. I bet the reason why we're finding so much about this, which seems nonsense, is Guy is going to have some Brazilian lover in 1979 who's going to appear somewhere here. I guarantee it. I promise you that is the case. Flavio Soares. 5 flavors. Flavio. Is Flavio a name? Yeah. Who has a mother named Sonia. Boom. Young Brazilian newscaster with a bit of a cult following. The discourse surrounding him, Flavio, Mr. Flavors, to put it in polite terms, lewd. There's a website about something called fanfiction that has a small section dedicated to him. It seems that women, and some men of a wide variety of ages and writing skill, tend to find him worthy of inclusion in their stories. Ooh, Flavio. Sounds very... what's the word I'm looking for? I can't think of it. You skim some of the tales there and learn that a common thread is that he's currently dating a supermodel named Ashley York. Many stories either seem to ignore her existence or get out of the picture quickly. There are also some more traditional fan sites that list some things about him, including his age, 18, his zodiac sign, Libra, his favorite food, grilled steak, and his mother's name, Sonia. So Sonia Flores is the one we just searched, isn't it? Yeah. So it also seems that Flavio translates to golden-haired. One website has a signed publicity photo of Flavio, seems to confirm this. The photo's been added to your evidence. Right, where are we going to put you, Flavio? Either here or here. Flavio there or Flavio there. Golden haired? No. We need a Brazilian periodical. Okay, Ashley. Anything interesting about you, love? British supermodel who does ads for perfume, clothing, and jewelry. She has been the subject of some controversy in the past few months, having protested by PETA for wearing fur on the cover of some magazines. She's dating the young Brazilian news anchor Flavio, which brought them both somewhat into the limelight. So the fact that she's there, that sort of made me think that there might be sort of two levels. Because, like, I think Flavio's the son of Guy. But then we wouldn't have a spot for her as a lover. Alright. I don't think there's anything else to look up in here. Because Sonia Soares. There he is, Flavio. To Natasha, kisses from Brazil. Flavio. Alright, I'm going to put you here, Flavio. The news anchor. And we might need to move you. Are lovers normally noted or just spice? Well, I was thinking that maybe they had a child or something. So if they had a child, then there'd be another one here. Spice is not the plural of spouses. That's funny. Flavio. And your... Oh no, not Sanchez. Soares. And then your mother, who was Sonia, wasn't she? But we don't have a picture of his mother. It's going to be hard to find a picture of his mother. Ashley York. I wonder if we can find more about Ashley York and then maybe we can find a picture of them all together or something. I reckon she might be in a periodical because she's a model. So probably in maybe, no, not News Time. Piketty? No. Huh. Ash. Oh, okay. Last one. I didn't think it'd be in this one. Appeared in the cover of Teen Blast wearing a fur shawl 3 months ago. This appearance doesn't lead to any useful information, but another more recent appearance. Text only mentions that she's dating Flavio Soares. In the Teen Blast, reporter asks how they met. I was in Rio Carnival, and he was on one of the parade floats. I had no idea who he was, but I liked what I saw and told my people to invite him to a party I was going to. I felt pretty stupid when I realized that we were going to his party. Well, his mother's party. She runs a media empire down there called Transmissa Sao Paulo. That's important. A massive media group run by Sonia Alves. Ah, Sonia Alves. Right. So she's probably Alves here then. Whoops. And then why the Suarez though? Hey Joshua, how's it going? Good to see ya. Because he's definitely... Unless they're over here. Maybe she married a Suarez, but she was infidelitying with him. She shortened her name to Nia to stand out in the public's eye. So Nia Alves then. Right. According to the history page that focused on a company and the vague on searchable details, Nia received significant inheritance in 1980 and invested in many different manufacturing businesses in her hometown in Brazil. At the same time, she had just begun to learn the ins and outs of the television network. She continued to work in television until 1988, when Brazil began its period of reform. She felt that this was a perfect opportunity to launch her own media company and use her investment and connections. Now she owns television networks, magazines, newspapers, and advertising firms. After doing some translating, the page about Nia lists her as unmarried. It does not go into any other relationship history. She stays out of the spotlight and doesn't even appear at shareholder meetings. She sends a proxy. Well, I guess we're not going to find anything about her. Never mind. Business Watch. Nia Alves owns many forms of media in Brazil under the umbrella Transmissão Paulo. Mentioned her a few times, the most recent appearance appears to be an article about the struggles of American media companies to do business with their foreign counterparts due to a difference in laws. A few media groups and countries are discussed, including those in Africa and the Middle East. It's also, the company is discussed. Due to lack of freedom of speech laws in Brazil, there has been added bureaucracy in publishing certain stories about Transmissão Paulo's channels. Nia is extremely private in her identity and supposedly once used her connections to have a reporter fired from a rival network and blacklisted. Huh. I wonder what that's about. I can't imagine we're going to find anything else about Nia. No, it's not even worth searching. Sonia. How am I going to get a picture of you, love? How are we going to get a picture of you? Maybe I need to search the company in the business. Watch. Too many results. Wealthiest media companies. We're not going to find anything about them, are we? Alright, maybe let's check out these other... Oh, is that Sonia? The photo is the first from a magazine interview with Cicely Sanchez in Piketty. The issue of Piketty magazine that it comes from was pulled from the shelf, but you managed to find it online. Piketty does not label its individual photos. Both photos are listed under the shared label. Cicely was provided these photos by the Roottreemania company for use in her book. In the background, there's a Christmas tree. Right. Okay. They met at the Christmas party, I think. So I reckon that is her. Look at him. He's all over her. And that's her husband. So I think they're actually going to be here because that's the spouse there. And he's going to be a Suarez. And look at him. Doesn't he look like the child of those two? I mean, not him, because he might actually be a husband. But we're putting you in here, champion. Flavio Suarez. Flavio. Oh, SOA. Suarez. News anchor. And I'm just gonna get rid of this. So that's Sonia. Alves. We need to find out her husband's name as well. He's probably a Suarez, isn't he? But I don't know his first name. Sonia is, what, a media mogul? We can put a picture up. Get in! Come on! Let's go! That is what I'm talking about. Heather, you're locked in. Melissa, you're locked in. Sonia, you're locked in. Flavio, you're locked in. And we locked in his picture as well. Oh, hello.
Sam reached out to me finally. I think I have you to thank for
Clark.
that one. My family's in a bit of a rough patch. Even though the candy is selling better than ever, everyone is fighting over the trust. The majority of us want to dissolve it. On paper, it seems like the right decision. The arguments about what to do next are endless and heated. More than a few root trees are worried about losing their wealth. I don't think we deserve it more than anyone else. I love my family, my wife, my daughters, even my son, who I hardly ever get to see. I want to keep them safe and secure, but I didn't do anything to deserve this fortune. Hell, I probably deserve it less than most. It took me way too long to get my life together.
Hey, mate, you're a rock star. Don't speak like that, Clark.
Okay, enough about me. Here's the deal. I can't stop the majority from voting one way or another. If you keep passing along potential root trees, I'll keep adding them to the list. On the other hand, there's been some leaps forward in genetics. It may sound like science fiction, but we can actually determine who's in the family just by testing their DNA. What you've done so far has been very useful. Just keep filling out the tree and we'll prepare for the tests.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Good stuff. Woo indeed. Alright, I want to find out this fella's name. Suarez. The page about Nia lists her as unmarried. But it says that he's her spouse, which is a little bit odd. Do we need to find it based on Flavio, perhaps? Oh, my keyboard stopped working. Here we go. Flavio. How do you spell it? Soars? Bit of a cult following, dating Ashley York. See, Ashley, we don't have anywhere for her. Translates to golden haired. We only get his mother's name, Sonia, not his father's name. I guess it doesn't matter too much, because he's not gonna have the root tree blood in him. Alrighty. Well, that's good. We found the Brazil. We've done Brazil. I think it's worthwhile we get cracking on a different one of these routes then. Piketty photo 2. Yeah, here we go. Oh, I can't click on him. I think we've already got that photo. That's of Elias. The photo is from the magazine interview with Cicely Sanchez and Piketty. Pulled from shelves. It doesn't label individual photos. Right. I didn't finish reading the magazine. Big cross for divorce. Ah, split up. Good point. Good point. I didn't notice that. Okay. So I think we need to get back to reading the article and figure out what this is. Do we know him? He looks familiar. The big fella. Yeah, is that Zachariah? I think Zachariah would be a bit... He's too old though, isn't he? Although he's the second president. And Guy is president... I reckon probably is. Guy's president number 3. When did Zachariah hand over the reins? Which one do I want to look at? It was... not this one. No. Oh, come on. I clicked on it before, champions. This one. 1977. Guy replaced Erdson as special management. No, not that. Yeah, 1978. Guy replaces Zachariah Morden. So that... yeah, look at that. That's definitely the same guy, isn't he? Definitely. Alright, so this is in 1978. We know that picture. I met him on New Year's Eve, actually, the last night of 1978. Guy liked to throw big parties. This is about the picture with the Brazilians. Oh, I'd already read all that. Christmas 1979. Oh, that was the Brazilians. It's complicated. I hadn't out in my contract. The book never came out. Guy suggests sign the contract my lawyers wrote without running it by anybody in his legal department. I could pull my name off the book at any time, but Guy still got the content. After I left, it probably got a lot harder to convince any real publisher to give it any time. He was the president, right? Do you know why he never released it himself? If I had to guess, his family was very wisely put a stop to it. In mid-1981, months after I'd already moved on, he called me back and showed me a final draft. Do you know how expensive it is to publish one copy of a book? It had my name on it, in big, shiny, embossed letters. Like all problems in life, throwing money at me was his attempt to win me back. But it had half the page count and the narrative was torn to bits. No thanks. The dinner was good. Imported steak that likely cost as much as a month of my mortgage. Wait, let me check that photo again. No, not that. Doesn't look like a dinner, does it? So I don't think that's the same. The same one. And we all got pretty drunk. He sent his mistress, Susie something, to the bathroom to proposition me. Susie something? Hey, Kinnick. I'm well. How are you, champion? Susie. Do we know about Mistress Susie? We know about Joanna and Christine and... No, that's not Sonia. I need to get rid of you. This might be the final mistress. No, Susan Ford. The final affair. We got Susie. I wonder if that picture is of Susie then. could it be that that's his mistress, Susie? Into the bathroom to proposition me. Poor girl, I remembered her from our trip overseas. She was too good for him. Anyway, he died soon after, and that was the last it ever came up. What can you tell us about the family? Any insight into the scandals from a recent book by Sam Madsen? I actually haven't read it. I just skimmed the sections on Guy to see why people were so suddenly calling me up to ask me about this man. I'd say she did well for what she had to work with. She only had the rumours, whereas I spent time tailing him. Sometimes he knew, sometimes he didn't. He invited me to join them when dealing with Roottreemania, but I actually had people on him when he went to Australia, France and China too. Why did I stop the Wordle? I did 500 of them. I might do some more soon. Maybe. Probably not. When he met with someone, I figured out who they were and how they were involved. Doubly so, if the meeting happened when he didn't want me to be around. Despite his best efforts, I never got the whole truth, including things even his family never knew. For example, the daughter of his business partner in Australia. I think her name was Robin. Oh, the Aussie affair. Was your favourite Aussie Wordle solver? I never did Wordle. I think you mean like Searchel and Feudal. I should do some more of that though, maybe at some point. I don't think we know about this Aussie affair though. We still got this affair here. And then Principal Susan there. Maybe this is this one. Robin. He and she definitely spent a few nights together that he didn't want his family to know about, but I did. Alright, we're putting you in here, Robin, because I don't know where else we're going to put you. You're not Christina, you're not Joanna, you're not Sonia, you're not Susan. Robin the Aussie. Madsen got things wrong. Sam mentions Guy's affairs and treats them like most people would logically think to treat them, like the infidelity was a problem for Patricia. When his first... Patricia is his original wife? Where are you again, champion? How come I can't remember where Guy was on this one? Oh, good looking Guy. Oh, there you are. Yeah, Patricia was his wife. They never actually got divorced. Apparently. When his first wife approached me, though, it wasn't a talk, if you get my meaning. On paper and in public, it was a marriage like any other, but in reality, it was more of a mutually beneficial arrangement. They both got what they wanted out of it, the same thing. I'm assuming that I only have to spell it out so you can get it out to your readers. Women. Patricia enjoyed the company of women, and the swinger scene made that more accessible. I'd told her I wasn't interested in her and Guy. I found out later that if I had said yes, her next question would have been whether or not her husband actually had to be there too. Guy, on the other hand, was seen in a traditional marriage, and at the same time could bed any woman that found him charming. I can assure you he was that exactly the type of marriage he was interested in. Right. So, this photo, it's been a bit coy about this handover. Is this the time that they hand over the reins of the Roottree company? Then is that going to be one of his secretaries then? I'm not quite sure based on that. Based on that article. Let's skim it again. Oh, Tom, press the right buttons. Hey, it might be New Year's Eve, like... Yeah, it probably is a New Year's Eve party, because this is a Christmas party. We know because the Christmas tree is up. Oh, hello. Who are you, love? I miss your face. There's another one. I'm sure Guy got with her as well, because Guy got with everyone. Does she look like the Garlands? Don't know. So, Christmas party, New Year's party. Oh gosh, I keep going to the wrong bits. Wife learned about me. Last night of 1978. So 1978, that was the year that he handed over the reins, wasn't it? Guy Hudson replaces Zachariah Morden. So I think that's probably the New Year's Eve party. Does that mean that this is going to be Sicily? Christmas tree bash, New Year's ball. Oh, it's so dang cryptic. But I mean, Sicily we don't think had an affair with the guy, or at least she didn't admit it in this article. Women, yeah. Roottreemania Legacy, Caviar. Book never came out. No. 1981 is too late because Zachariah wouldn't be in the picture for 1981. So the New Year's Eve party, 1978. Actually, maybe if I go back here. The wife was at the party. She invited him to the party. Do we have a spot for a picture of Patricia? We don't have a spot for a picture of Patricia. So it can't be Patricia, because Patricia does not make an appearance out of any here. These are all infidelities. So the two women probably are Robin and Susan, the principal. Do either of them look like these girls, the Fords? She's got blonde hair. Ooh. Yeah. Probably more that one, eh? I reckon she looks like a principal. So we're gonna say you're there, love, and then you must be Robin. That's quite a leap. Yeah, definitely the first. Agreed. Yeah, I reckon she could be their mums. It's hard to tell, like, skin tone, but they look like they might have sort of this olive complexion. They're locked in as Fords. So it's interesting that they took her name, which I think was Ford, because Thomas Hughes is out of the picture. They split up. Robin the Australian. I wanna find out more about her, assuming that is her. Oh no, we also have Christine Smith, the secretary. She does look like a secretary. Let me see. This is the party of 1978. Who was working in 1978? I keep forgetting which one this is in. It's in the confidential folder. Other staff. Edward Elizabeth Lloyd, no longer employed in 1979. Elizabeth Cravenworth. Okay, I don't think Elizabeth's doing anything. Hey Carol, how's it going, champion? Christine Garland is no longer working for Roottree in 1978. So if this is the New Year's party of 1978, it wouldn't be her then, because she wouldn't be at the New Year's Eve party. So it probably is Robin. Based on timing. Beatrice and Corinne Swartz were hired. Juliet and Doris are gone. Yeah, all these people. Susan Ford was the special interpreter, right? Turned principal. She was hired in 1979. Did we think the Christmas party was from 1978 or 1979? Oh, I've got to look this up again. Because that is a different photo. That's the Christmas party photo. When was the Brazil? Christmas 1979. He went to Brazil to open the Roottree Brazil factory. So was he in Brazil in this photo? But why would Susan be there? Oh no, Susan was the interpreter. Yeah. Of course Susan would be with him in Brazil as his interpreter. And then he's getting with her. He's getting all around. Yep. It all adds up. Good. But you, Robin. Where did we see your name, Robin? Robin. France, Australia. Was Robin the Aussie? I think her name was Robin. The daughter of her business partner, of his business partner in Australia. Oh, the daughter is named Robin. Oh, but he did get with the daughter. Okay. So if Roottree Brazil is something, then maybe Roottree Australia is something as well. Is that what it's getting us to look up? Roottree Australia. Roottree Oz is one of those companies created to manufacture and distribute Roottree candy. It was developed as part of the Roottree Everywhere initiative in summer of 1979. Charles Martin, who owned a company that manufactured licorice in Australia, was tapped to run Roottreemania factory after he impressed an American leadership of the Roottreemania Candy Company at the time. It did have some success in certain regions. The manufacturing leg shut down in 1992 after Martin died. Alright. Charles Martin was a candy manufacturer in Australia, born in 23. Martin's Licorice Bullets. I want to look you up, champion. Oh, that's the same article, isn't it? Yeah, I think that's the same article as... Most of his history is unrelated to root trees. However, in 1979, he helped develop Roottreemania Oz. He used to own his own wealth to build a new factory, and they distributed the maple treats throughout the same methods he had already begun using of his previous candy venture. A website about Australian commerce mentions that he had a very unusual business agreement with the main Roottreemania company in the US. Much like how the Clancy Trust distributed the profits from the Roottreemania company evenly to the Roottreemania family, the profits from the Roottreemania Oz will be split 50-50 between the American Roottreemania company and Martin himself for him to do what he wishes. This made Martin very, very wealthy, but also led to many cost-cutting measures meant to increase profits as much as possible, especially towards the end of Martin's life in the early 1990s. Roottreemania candy gained a poor reputation in Australia, and sales suffered immensely. Charles' vast fortune was passed along to his daughter Robin Martin, who sold both businesses at first opportunity. Dang, it sounds like Charles Martin was a very bad man who gave up his daughter for a big bit of business. But we have found her. So the article did mention that he was getting with the daughter of his business partner. So that would make sense that this is Robin Martin here. So we need to find out more about her. Still not 100% sure the picture's right. Yeah, I actually think the picture's probably wrong. Because I don't think she would have been at this New Year's party. So maybe that is Christine Smith, but I don't think the timing made sense for that either. Okay, this is good though. We're making good progress this stream. And the daughter sold both businesses first opportunity. Featured in many of the top 100 wealthiest women in the world list, she owns a private island off the coast of Australia where she reportedly has her own exclusive retreat. She has no husband. Okay, that lines up with this. That's good. And there was a widely circulated rumor somewhere in the mid-70s that she had a medical procedure to ensure she would never have children. That does not line up with this, because this one has a child. But all guys' love affairs have children. I mean, I guess they have to, because otherwise they wouldn't make the list. You find a joke on a site called Edgy Jokes that implies she's quite promiscuous and as a puncher often involved Robin's eggs. Ugh, how vile. For what it's worth, Martin seemed to lean into the rumors. In the 80s, she once showed up at a charity function with 3 very attractive men wearing a shirt that simply said, "Satisfied partner of it." I think maybe we need to look up Robin in Business Watch, because she is a successful business person. Apparently, Robin Martin sold off her father's assets in 1992, the year after she died. She combined with her inheritance meaning and catapulted into an almost unimaginable level of wealth. The writer at Business Watch who was assigned to report the news, seemed to disapprove of this move immensely. While the article does touch on the announcement of who took over the licorice division, as well as what was to come of the maple candy factory, the entire text seemed to be dripping with contempt that someone would be willing to dismantle and gut such a successful company to earn a quick buck. The article ends with a dig at Robin's personal life and a lack of traditional values. But who am I to judge? Maybe she sold it to ensure a better future for her own children. Oh, wait. Oh, it sounds like Robin doesn't have kids. Robin. Love. She's not going to appear anywhere else. Oh, hey, Tornado. Good to see you. Do I know Gamer Sean? Yeah, I left him a comment once. He just does, like, live stream Wordle, doesn't he? He seems to be doing well in the live streams. Happy for him. He seems like a nice fella. Robin Martin. How do I find out more about you? Maybe we need to look up this other company she sold. What was the name of Charles' other company? I mean, we have Roottreemania Oz. I doubt we're going to find anything about that. The Roottreemania everywhere. Charles Martin. Alright, Charlie, I need to look you up again, champion. So yeah, I'm just going to quickly look that up in Business Watch. Oh, here we go. Focuses mainly on American businesses, but the expansion of Roottreemania in Australia did create a bit of a blip in 1978. It mentions that Charles Martin met with the legal and leadership teams from Roottreemania in 1977. They came to an agreement that broke ground on a new factory in 1978. The Roottreemania company's statement, said to come directly from the president, was brief and a bit awkward. The Roottreemania is excited to begin a new adventure down under. We're extremely impressed with Charles Martin and feel like his expansion heralds a new era for Roottreemania that will last for years to come. Roottreemania is founded on family, and Charles' family has also impressed us, especially his daughter Robin. Yeah, we know it. We know Robin impressed you, mate. We know she'll continue to steer the ship, just as Elias Roottreemania's family continue to do here in the US. I don't think that tells us anything. Same article. What was your other company named? Charlie. Oh, I swear it was in one of the articles. Maple Treats. What is Robin's job as well? Actually, I think this was mentioned in Business Watch. Maple Candy Factory? What would we put you at? Unemployed? She just seems to be rich from selling things, but we don't know. I mean, I guess her last job was CEO. Nothing about the Maple Candy Factory. Dang it. Dang it, dang it, dang it. Robin. I need to know more about you, love. I wonder, the private island? Seem to lean into the rumors. Charity function is interesting. Satisfied partner. I don't suppose you're wearing a shirt that says satisfied partner, love. No. Alright, chat. This has been fun, but I gotta get back to my day job. We've made some good progress. We've just about... I think we've found all of Guy's affairs. Or at least all the ones that are bared fruit. We got some lock-ins. We're 12 out of 20. We need to look up. There's a lot going on here that we haven't gotten anything. And then 1998 over here. So there's a very, very recent affair, it seems, that we haven't done much work on. But I think we made good progress. It helps when you're not completely ill, for once. Haven't heard more about your namesake, Patricia. Yeah, there does seem to be... There does seem to be something going on with your namesake, Patricia. But thank you so much for joining, champions. We'll be back Tuesday night your time, or Wednesday lunch my time, for more word games. And it's good to always spend an afternoon with you, champions. So I'll see you again soon. Thanks again. Bye for now.